everyone, and welcome to Shareful with Busola. I know it's been a while, but I needed to jump right in front of the camera to share this useful information, even though I'm on a time crunch. I should be out of here for an event, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to make it on time. But needed to share this information on useful tips on how to land a good job. Why am I doing this? I discovered the other day while looking for my birth certificate. So, fun fact, oh my goodness, I think we become our parents the older we get. Yeah, or some version of them. I know that for my mom, for instance, and I think some people might be able to relate, if I go to her to ask for my birth certificate, she knows exactly where it is and she's going to rip it right out. Birth certificate from over 30 years ago. Yeah, I'm like that. I was looking for my university certificate. Actually, I knew exactly where it was. I went to my drawer of important credentials and got into my folder. I was rifling through the documents. I came across my birth certificate. I came across all my school certificates and important documents. And you know what else I came across? My letters of employment. And it made me realize that I've bagged a number of jobs. I know I was strategic with a number of them, with a lot of luck, God's favor, but I was really strategic. And I would like to share some of those strategies on how to land a job. But a little backstory: I worked in Nigeria for a very long time, maybe like 8 years, I think. And I worked in a couple of places. So a PR agency, which was my first job. This is a job offer that I got, but I never took up the job. Yeah, a couple of places, a bank, an insurance company, and oil and gas company. And so that was in Nigeria. Now, when I moved to the UK, I took a career break in order to focus on being a mom and learning how to adjust, basically, to take on this new responsibility and take it on gracefully. And after a while, I decided to get back. Now, a number of things that I did in Nigeria definitely didn't work here. So one thing I would advise is that in job hunting, you have to be intentional. You have to take note of the things that are relevant for the client. You are going to have to adjust your resume to suit the job market, basically. And so the first thing I would advise, especially here in the UK, when looking for a job, job sites I would recommend are Indeed, read.com, your good old LinkedIn. And depending on where you're based as well, there are some local recruitment agencies. Just Google search for those agencies can help you secure a good job that's local to where you are at. And so you're going to have to customize your resume. In Nigeria, I took on a very generalist role. I'm so fortunate to have had a career where I've worked in a variety of places. And so based on my experience, I know I can work within marketing communications. When you're looking for a job, I would say do a quick search to see the jobs that are in demand. Go on LinkedIn to see the jobs that are in demand. Look for roles that, based on your experience, you can apply for and you're suitable for. And I would advise that you have different resumes for these different roles that would include the keywords for those roles. You can use the job description as well for a couple of. So do sift through what's out there and pull a couple of job descriptions, use the keywords that are in there, and then tweak your resume. You can use your favorite AI to help you with that. Again, use appropriate tones, when it comes to your resume. Use appropriate terms and make sure that your resume is a list of achievements. So I did this, and make sure it's quantifiable. I did this, which led to this. So it has to be very result oriented. Another thing I did, which I would also advise, is that you cast your net really wide. I sent out a couple of resumes every day. So I sent out several. But when you do that, the back end to that is that you need to be resilient, because when you cast your net really wide, or you spray your bullets really scattered, not really scatter the bullets, is send out a number of resumes within the scope of jobs that you are looking for. But when you do that, you know that you are going to get back a lot of no's. So you need to be resilient when the no's come, and be positive, and stay strong, because it is hard, it is tough, but know that at the end of the day it's going to work out, and it's a game of probabilities, in my opinion. So the more you push out, if you push out like a 200, for instance, you might get 10 back, you might get 20 back. Oh, another thing I would advise is, when it's something I've noticed, is the first stage in job hunting is what I call the silent stage, where you're putting out a lot of applications but you're not getting anything back. But trust me, it will move on to the responsive stage, which is lots of no's. But if you can persevere, you get your first interview, second interview, few interviews or call for interviews, and then you attend the interview, you secure your job. I would also say two things are very critical when job hunting. There are two critical points. The first is securing an interview. So those points I've listed are how to secure an interview, and then the next stage is being remarkable and successful, and just being outstanding at those interviews. And those are the next tips I'll provide. Now, my friend will say stalk, but also research your interviewers. When you get a call and you know who is interviewing you, go on LinkedIn, read through what they have on their profile. What story does it tell you about them? What do you think they'll be looking out for in when they're interviewing, in their choice candidates, basically? That's number one. And you do that so that you can connect with them. So for instance, I have had interviews where the school was the school my brother went to, and then I was like, oh, my brother went to that school, and then he just dropped the walls down. That's another thing you need to do, is to make sure that you steer the general tone of the interview from being very, very dry to conversational, like almost like a pod style interview. My friend told me that. Shout out to Ife for that great advice, because they are human beings at the end of the day, and you want to connect in a way that is authentic to you as well. I know that interviews are a two-way street. They are learning about you, so you're selling your strengths based on the job description, and you're also learning about the company, the culture, about the company's stability and things like that, their growth plans, to see where you fit and if you do fit. I would say those are the things that will make you stand out. And finally, something that is overlooked and sometimes not even done right is sending a thank you email. I know this is one thing that made me stand out in the job I currently have. So by the way, when I got to the UK, like I mentioned, I took a career break. When I was ready to come back, I was coming in hot. I was ready to come back. You remember my previous video I made? I said I was ready to work. So I took the first job that would have me, and which was a customer care job. It's a deviation from what I'd done in Nigeria. By deviation, I mean away from my career path, but a number of skills I'd acquired in my previous jobs, in my previous roles, I was able to bring it into the role. But for me, even though it was away from it, I thought, number one, I had bills to pay. Number two, I needed to buy things for myself without, dipping my hands into my already exhausted savings or asking Lebu for money. And number three, I thought it's an opportunity to network with people and progress from there. So once I got that job, and that's what I would advise, it's better to start. That is my own advice. Somebody else might decide to wait but I didn't have that luxury of time anymore. And more so, I was ready. I think I was home for like maybe 2-3 years. Actually, time flies. But yeah, having kids and helping and just adjusting. But I was ready. And it was better for me to move than stay stagnant in a position. And so getting that job actually was soft landing for me, because like I said, it was a new environment. So it was introducing me to the workspace, seeing the dynamics of this new environment, and some of the skills I learned there, I took them forward into, my other roles. And after that, I got a job that was in line and on par with the level I was, I think, in Nigeria. And so it only gets better from there, right? So I'll say start with something. Every job, there's dignity in labor, is what I was taught by my father. It's important to be hardworking. It's important to do for yourself. As long as it's a legit job, there's dignity in labor. So start from somewhere. If you're looking for jobs with sponsorships, for example, in the UK, I know that a lot of federal civil service jobs, I believe they offer sponsorship. So you can go on civilservicejobs.com for roles. And so prepare, number one, but don't make it too technical, because you need to stand out from the other applicants who would also be technical. Let your personality shine through. Figure out what they want. What does an HR person want? What does the line manager want? If the line manager is employing you, obviously someone who knows his or her onions, and someone who will be great for his team dynamics, not someone that will come and be a clog in the wheel. And then so that's at that level. If you're interviewing with someone more senior, like the CEO or an executive, they're thinking of someone, they're looking for someone who is more strategic. So you have to speak at that level as against being more granular. You need to show the vastness of your personality, basically. Job hunting is really, really tasking, but there is no way you're not going to get a job. There is no way you're not going to get a job. In some cases, you might need to start from somewhere to gain some experiences. But I wish you all the best. I wish you success. I wish you good luck. If you have any questions, you can drop them in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Like, share, subscribe as well. I need to be out of here. I need to go for my meeting and have a good time. Have a lovely day, everyone. Bye.